Hello, hello. Recently I heard about FizzBuzz programming challenge or programming problem that's used on interview, and I never heard before about it. So I researched it a bit, and they said that the FizzBuzz test is an interview question designed to help filter out the 99.5% of programming job candidates who can't seem to program their way out of a wet paper bag. Okay, write a program that prints the numbers from 1 to 100, but for multiples of 3 print fizz instead of the number, and for the multiples of 5 print buzz. For numbers which are multiples of both 3 and 5 print fizz buzz. So I can see in the start where could be a problem. Some programmers are trying to add conditions for this problem in the order that they were asked. So I will show you how to resolve this by using simple if-else if, and I will try another way also to show you with some advanced approach. It's not advanced approach, but some people don't know about it, and I will create all of that now. I will create first folder of FizzBuzz. I will use C# for this. This is creating new console project. Let's see if we build it. Okay, so it needs to, okay, build succeeded. So if I run it, it will say hello world, I think. Okay, so I can open it with the Visual Studio Code now. I don't know what this error is. So we need to copy this to see it all the time, so we don't go wrong way. Okay, let's use this here. Let's put some lines here. Okay, so what we need to do, we need to write program that will write numbers from 1 to 100 and replace number that's divisible by 3, 5 or 3 and 5. So we need to say from 1 while is lower or equal to 100, right? Okay, I will write all the numbers in the same row so we don't have to scroll. Okay, if we go to if we say now .NET run, it should print numbers. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can just add comma. If you don't know what this is string interpolation. So if you add a $sign before your string, you can add variables in these brackets here, so you don't need to concatenate strings. You can do it this way. It's much easier. So we can run it again. Okay, so there are numbers. Now, problem says that we need to change numbers divisible by 3 to fizz, by 5 by buzz, and by 3 and 5 by fizz buzz. So this is the problem we get. We say if model of 3 is equal 0, write fizz. Else if model of 5 is equal 0, write buzz. And this is where the problems come. So if the number is divisible by 3, it will skip all other conditions. So we will get problem on number 15 because that number is divisible by 5 and by 3 and should write FizzBuzz, not Fizz. So we need to add condition for 3 and 5 first. So if we say if module of 3 is equal 0 and module of 5 is equal 0, then write FizzBuzz. Okay, so that's it. It should work now. Also, we need to just add default functionality, which will write our number if none of the conditions above are true. So we saved it. If we go to, if we build it, okay, it's built. Okay, we can see number 3 is changed with Fizz, number 5 is with Buzz Fizz. Why? Okay, we forget this. Okay. Okay, 5 is Buzz, 6 is Fizz, 9 is Fizz, 10 is Buzz, 15 is FizzBuzz, as we said. So far so good. So that's the solution. That's the simple solution that works. And it's not really hard. Some people are trying to over-engineer this solution, and they are building some functionality where you can expand your conditions and use the same code for it. So I will just demonstrate with one more solution for this simple. I will use operators also for checking and what to write, and it will be probably one line of code, and the next I will try to pass condition to functions to our method as a function or anonymous function that returns bool and receiving integer. Okay, so we can extract this to a simple method. We can say simple FizzBuzz. Okay, we can change these to new variables from and to. So we can say int from, int to. So we don't, if we want to call this method and check numbers from 1 to million, we can do just by changing parameter that we are passing. So simple FizzBuzz will be like this, calling it like this. Okay, simple with if and else if. Okay, so that's the simple solution. What? This should work. Okay, it's working. So we will create another one. We'll call it simple FizzBuzz 2. Same parameters. Okay, so we will do the same for loop. And we will say console.write, and we can do it like this. We can say evaluate this. So we will say e module of 3 is equal 0 and e module of 5 is equal 0. If that's the true, return FizzBuzz. Otherwise, check if e module of 3 is equal 0, then return fizz. Otherwise, we can do this in a new line, but no. Okay, we will do it like this. We will say string value will be, and we can say e module of 3 is equal 0 and module of 5 is equal 0. Return FizzBuzz. No. Otherwise, check if e is module of 3. If that's true, return fizz. Otherwise, check if I is module of 5, return buzz, and if it's not, return this string. I think okay, forget to compare, so it's okay now. Okay, so we will now simply write our value as value to console, and we will call our function simple FizzBuzz2 from 1 to 100. We will comment this one. Okay, if we check it, it's working. So fizz for 3, buzz for 5, fizz for 6, FizzBuzz for 15. So that's working also. It's more complex to look than the first solution, but it's working. And the second one, simple with how do you call it, conditional operators. And the third one will be over-engineered one, where you can cover all parts of the question, but I don't think they are asking about this solution, but you can do it. So we'll say we need a function. We will say static void simple complex FizzBuzz, and we will receive same parameters. So from is starting integer and 2 is ending integer. And now we also need to receive other parameters. So I would like to receive this keyboard params enables you to send as many as you want arguments or parameters to a method, so it's not limited to 1, 2, 3, 4. You can send them as much as you want, and also you can ignore them. So I will say it's receiving parameters of type tuple with the first item anonymous function receiving integer returning bool, and the second part of the tuple will be string that will be our result. That's FizzBuzz or FizzBuzz, and I will call it conditions. So if you don't know what the tuple is, that's a data structure that can contain multiple items. So if we want to do it without a tuple, we can, I don't know, it's tuple or tuple, not sure. Let's see.
Tuple.
Tuple. Okay, so it's tuple. Let's return here. So what we need to do now? Okay, if we don't want to use tuple, we can create our condition. For example, class. We can say class or condition is equal, and then public function integer string or parent our condition get set. But I don't want to do that. I just want to use possibility of tuple, so I don't need another classes, another object types and stuff. So I will use a tuple. And what we need to do, same as before, we need to loop through numbers. So we need to say for each number from 1 while it's smaller or equal to 100, increase our number and do this logic, because we now have condition as sent as an array of anonymous of tuples that contains first item anonymous function that's receiving integer returning bool as a condition. We need to loop through those to see if condition is valid. So we can say for each condition in conditions, we can say, okay, we will receive result, and we will say if condition dot item 1. Remember, our item 1 is this anonymous function that we will pass as parameter to our method complex FizzBuzz. Item 1, and we pass our integer, and we can check if result, that's the boolean, because the item 1 is returning boolean as a value. If this is the truth, then we can say write line. Okay, we will use write, and we will write second item of passed tuple, that's string. We can see it here, string, and we can say condition dot item 2. I just need to check what these. Okay. Condition, it was small typo, item 2. So this should work now, but if we don't write anything in the console, we need to write the number. So that means that number is not divisible, not by 3, not by 5, not by anything that we pass. We need to write that number, so we will need another condition. We'll say, okay, condition valid false, we'll say it's false. So if we write it here, we can say condition valid is true, condition valid is true, and we can exit this for each loop and continue with our for loop logic. So if condition is not met, we can write number, and I think that's it. We don't need anything else to do. We just need to see if this can be built. Okay, it's successful. Now all we need to do is call our function. So we will say complex FizzBuzz. we will say from 1 to 100. And now we will pass our tuple. We say new tuple. Okay. So how do we create tuple? We just create new tuple, pass the parameters, and then as parameters to a constructor of the tuple, we are giving our values. So our first value should be a function anonymous. We can say this is the function receiving parameter x, and this logic should check if module of 3 is equal 0 and module of 5 is equal 0. That's it. So that's the first parameter, our anonymous function. Then we need another string which will say, okay, it will be FizzBuzz. Now we need to create new condition. Did I make a mistake anyway? No. If it's divisible by 3, no, not divisible, yes, if it's divisible by 3, then return, wait a second, yes, return just fizz. Okay, we need to set parameter that we are receiving, so we can do same for the 5 and say write buzz and remove this comma. So that should be it. I think that's it. Let's see if it builds. No, we have one error, expected comma somewhere. I don't understand, where did I miss it? Okay. Okay, so we can run it now. .NET run. For 3 it's fizz, for 5 is buzz, for 15 is FizzBuzz. It's working. So we have many other options. We can create new solution, for example number 7. So number 7, when given, will, for example, say senad. So we just create another condition here as a parameter. We can say for a 7 write senad. Okay, so senad for 7, senad for 14. So that's it. If you like this video, click like. If you don't like it, you know what to do. So thank you for watching and see you in next video.